This channel has been a labor of love for me for many years, but at times it really is easy to lose a sense of scale. People would say 5,000 subscribers is a relatively small channel, but that is still a whole lot of people. What better way to put this into perspective than to do something 5,000 times? This video is how I did that. 5,000 crunches, one crunch at a time. By the night of the 13th of February, I had done 100 sit-ups and I was at 4,974 subscribers. I had given my sub count a bit of a 13-year head start, but I was quickly making up ground, although I had no idea if I would make it in time. I will say, going from relatively little core training to a consistent 150 crunches a day was, let's just say ambitious. I was doing it, and I was on a great pace, but I was also hurting a whole lot. I definitely was not getting enough recovery. I guess I wasn't getting any at all. Anyways, just as you would suspect, this did not last. After hitting 1,000 crunches, only a fifth of the way there, I had to take a break because of some pretty bad back pain. Now, you might wonder, why would crunches cause me back pain? Well, it is a bit of a long story. I am historically a runner. I ran throughout elementary, middle, and high school. In 2020 though, I started to get into lifting, and I found that I loved it. As I lifted more and more, my confidence grew, my strength grew, and my love for lifting grew. It became a part of me, something I truly loved. On November 14th, 2022, I was deadlifting. Everything felt fine. My form definitely needed a little bit of work, but I was trying to work on it. Later that day, however, something felt off. My back did not feel terrible or very painful, but it did not feel particularly good. Thankfully, of course, this would get better with time. Then a week passed, and my back still felt strange. Then a month passed. Then a year. And after all this time, appointments with doctors and back specialists, an MRI, and fighting to keep something that was part of me, something I loved. It was all just of no use. I had to just let it go. It was heartbreaking, but I was just out of options. Ever since then, the condition of my back has been quite a roller coaster, so I was not at all shocked when it threw a wrench in this project. But as I pondered and thought about what had happened more and more, I realized there was no getting around the obvious answer. To do this, there were no shortcuts. The only way was through consistency, moderation, and dedication. So I picked myself up and started climbing again. As I stayed the path, I found my stride again. I would usually do sets of 50 at this point, with no more than 3 sets per day. I wasn't 100% consistent, but I was succeeding, climbing more and more as the days passed. Just as quickly as I gained this momentum, it was gone. First, I got the flu, so physically I was always spent. And second, to add insult to injury, I was mentally racked with the worst college course I've ever taken. Honestly, it felt like this was it. This was the perfect 1-2 punch to this project. The doubts just started to pool, like, why should I continue? No one would know if I threw in the towel right now. Quietly quitting wasn't just a way out. It was the most practical choice at this point. The answer to these doubts really did just come down to Funny Money 101. This channel is a part of me, a part of my identity, and this part of me has never completely given up. It has never fully tapped out. Here's a graph of the subscribers I've gained over the past 11 years on this channel. Or at least this would be the graph if it made any sense whatsoever. Here is the real graph. After years of making content that was all over the place, I found a niche that I flourished in, but hit the ceiling of how much I could grow fairly quickly. I put more and more time into recording and editing, but hours and hours of development and iteration didn't even move the needle. But I kept at it. I don't even really know why, but giving up or tapping out just wasn't an option in my head. In 2019, I left to serve a 2-year LDS mission. When I returned, one of my one-off projects had done fairly well, so I started to put more and more time into similar videos. The series was doing well, and then I posted this video on December 27th, 2025. The hours and hours of iteration I'd put in all those years ago finally seemed to pay off. Within a month, the video had reached 100,000 views, my most viewed video by a long shot. I was on cloud 9. Nothing could shoot me down at this point. On January 6th, my channel was hacked. Then it was deleted. Eventually, through a brutal process, I got my channel back, but the damage was done. For every logical reason I could think of, the answer seemed to be to just give up. It was genuinely painful. But despite all this, knowing full well that the odds were stacked against me, for some reason, giving up or tapping out just wasn't an option. This was a part of my identity. This was a part of me. So, as I always have, I picked myself up and I continued. That class I mentioned earlier quickly became the hardest class I've ever taken in college for all the wrong reasons. But quitting just wasn't an option. I went through the most brutal finals week of my life. With the knowledge that I was probably going to spend all of my day working on this class, it was extremely difficult to do pretty much anything. Despite all this, the show went on. Sadly, it was all too little too late. On April 4th, 4,217 days after I uploaded my first video, I hit 5,000 subscribers. It was bittersweet, but you know what? Who cares? I was committed to this silly, goofy, absurd challenge, and no excuse, nor heaven nor earth, was going to stop me. Soon enough, I was halfway. Frankly, the crunches got easier, but they were still always hard. But soon enough, I was at 4,000, and what seemed improbable for so long became inevitable. From the top of a mountain, the climb always seems so trivial. It is so easy from the precipice to say, yeah, it wasn't easy, but I knew it would work out eventually. To be honest, for most of these 4 months, I really didn't know. I only knew for sure on May 28th.
10 more. Holy crap. 8, 9, 10, 5,000. What an absurd, silly thing to do. Oh my gosh. I'm sure I'll have a lot to say once I collect my thought, but for now, it is done.
Now you may be wondering, what happened? How did all of this affect me? Well, I sure can tell you that my core is a whole lot stronger. When I started this challenge, my plank was 2 minutes flat. At 1,000 crunches, that went up to 253. Fast forward a bit, and I was able to plank for 3 minutes and 30 seconds, which is my lifetime plank PR. Or at least it would have been. I had a quest to do a plank for the length of a song. This song. Thank you, Braden, for the banger song recommendation. After I hit 5,000 crunches, had a little bit of rest, I was able to complete this quest with a plank of 4 minutes and 51 seconds. Now, do I have six-pack abs? Well, here are my abs before, and here are my abs after. You may be wondering why there's not much of a noticeable difference. Well, some of you more gym-savvy look-smaxers may also know an important truth I am proving here. That is, abs are made in the kitchen. I did lose some weight over the course of this project, but not enough for a drastic visual difference. Of course, thank you all for the support and kind comments. Trust me, if I had unlimited time and energy, I would post so many more videos than I do. I have more ideas in past projects than I ever possibly could make into videos. I'm pretty sure I'll be making videos until the day I die. So you need not fret. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Recording.